Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Today is an extremely exciting day because we're showing off a brand new map for DCS. We have the Germany Cold War 1980s map, and as you can probably tell by my voice, I'm extremely excited. What we've got here is a map that I've measured, and east to west is 430 nautical miles. South to north we have 464 miles, so a pretty big map. It contains almost all of Germany. In terms of rough geography, this main chunk here is Germany. Over here we have Netherlands, Holland, we have Denmark here, we have Sweden here, we have Poland here, we have, East Germany here, West Germany here, we have old Czechoslovakia here, and this is actually Germany down here, and Switzerland will be down here, Austria will be down here, France here, Luxembourg here, and Belgium here. Now, it's important to say you can buy this map now at the full price and you will get the full map as shown. But in terms of what you get in terms of detail or high fidelity, it's coming in 3 phases. Phase 1 is where we're at now on first release. So everything within the yellow line here, you can see, is modelled in high fidelity. Later on, phase 2 will come, and everything within the red line also will be high fidelity. And finally, later on, phase 3 will be added. Everything within the blue line will be high fidelity going into the other various countries. Now, at this point, what I would usually do is say there are X amount of bases, and I would show you a lovely pre-prepared isometric picture of each base. But as you can see, that ain't going to happen. There are, I don't know, hundreds probably of bases modelled. It is absolutely overwhelming, and today's biggest problem is finding time to show you all of the stuff. There is just so much here. We'll just do the best we can. Why are there so many bases? Well, the reason is it's not just big military bases. There are lots of very small bases. There are lots of glider bases which were very popular in Germany. There's also some air racing bases. There's even some of them are like little radar bases. Now, we're very lucky. A lot of our members live in Germany. We've got Mems, who lives here. Hello, Mems.
Moin Zen.
Milo lives here. Hello, Milo.
Hello.
Fly, I'm sure you've all heard of Fly, lives here. Hello, Fly.
Hey.
You're coming in phase 2 and 3, so you're not modelled yet. Ha 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 ha.
He's homeless for now.
Yes, you are. Simba.
Wow.
Simba isn't here anymore, but he was posted here. Hello, Simba.
Hello.
Gans lives here. Hello, Gans.
Grüß Gott.
God, Scott, very, very southern of you. So absolutely fantastic amount of detail here, guys. In terms of what we're going to do, viewers, we're going to try and cover as many as the major sites as possible. We'll start in F-16s here, guys. Our first route, Route 1, Damgarten here. We'll head east to whatever the heck that is, just a small base. I want to show you that there are some little small mini bases. Peenemünde with some World War II history. Garz here. Then along to Neubrandenburg here. Then we're going to go south over Templin, over Verneuchen, and into Berlin proper. We'll land at Tempelhof, and obviously hugely rich history throughout World War II and the Cold War. And we're going to have a look at the sites in Berlin just to get that done. I'm really looking forward to that. By the way, I haven't actually been into the map yet, so I haven't seen it. I like to be truly stunned to begin with. Then we're going to go on Route 2. I figured we'd start at Braunschweig here. We'd see the VW factory. Then we're going to go to Hanover here. Then we're going to go to Bremen here. Then we're going to go to, Bremen. That's the nearest we can get to Wilhelmshaven, which of course comes in phase 2, so be it. We're then going to go to Hamburg, where a lot of my family live. We're then going to go to Mems, see Mems, bomb Mems, hopefully, at Ludbeck here. Maybe do a bit of air racing.
Do we have MiG-21s?
Sorry, Mems. We do not. They're far too cool for us today. We're being very German and efficient. Guys, we're taking a leap down to eastern / central Germany to Leipzig here, Halle, and wherever else we want to go. Just a small visit around here, guys, because we'll be running short on time at that point. Finally, I figured we'd start in Frankfurt because it's a major town, obviously. Wiesbaden. We'll head on to Ramstein, USAF base. We'll head on to Zweibrücken. We'll head on to Spangdahlem and then Bitburg. It's important to say that not all of Germany is covered or will be covered. Germany goes down even further down here. I found that out because the first thing I wanted to do was to go and see Freiburg, which is where I was. But it's actually 50 miles south, and the Schwarzwald and whatnot is mainly down south. But that's fine. This is what's more important, obviously, for the Cold War, which is what this is all about. Guys,
Quick point to bring up, the third-party maker that makes this map, if you kind of want to have an idea of how the map is going to turn out to the end, just look at the Syria map and the Normandy 2 map. They are the people that did all of that modeling. So I think that gives you a good frame reference of the amount of detail you can expect when this map is finished.
So you're saying it's a kind of a framework now, and it will be added to month on month, like all of the maps, until it's fully populated. Absolutely, guys, absolutely. Welcome in, viewers. We're starting on Route 1. We've got a whole bunch of us. We are Milo, Simba, Fly, Dark, Gans, Wolf, Wilco, Dirty, me, Cannibal, Blade, Armchair, and whoever else is trying to get to the server. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
We're starting Route 1 at... Where are we, guys? We're at something Garten. We're at Damgarten here. Viewers, I've absolutely not tried this before, and I've not even loaded it until now. It may be a little jerky because of that, but it will settle down. In terms of performance, which is always important on these maps, viewers, I put my performance meter at the top left there. It tells you how many frames a second I'm getting, and I will flash up what my computer specs are now, so you can get a reference for that. One of these guys lets me out. Hey, he cut me off. Guys, you've obviously all played... I'm cutting in front of this dude. You guys have obviously all played it already.
One thing maybe to note is that it will be in the end 205 gigabytes. It's not there yet.
How big is it now? 100?
I thought it was 50 yesterday when loading it.
Yeah,
Was it 100 already?
It's about 100 uncompressed.
So there's twice... So, roughly speaking, there's twice as much detail to be added in. That is a big friggin' map. But it's a big country. What's your population? 100,000? Something like that?
88 million.
Over 80 million.
I like the airfield already. It's nice.
It is, yeah. Everything looks nice so far. I love the colours. Now, important thing is, viewers, I'm playing with reshade on. If I turn it off, that's what it looks like for you. That's what it looks like for me. I have to do that because YouTube demands it. You just got to take my word for it.
Yeah, the detail on the air filter is one of the things that are outstanding at. It's really incredible in all of them, actually.
I'm going to try and give you some isometric views of the map of the things, viewers. So there we go. That is Damgarten. It's damn hot.
It's a damn garden.
There we go, even better. Right, guy in front, whoever you are, take off, follow the steer point chain. At any point, guys, feel free to leave the steer point chain and go look at stuff. Don't worry about it too much. We just need to make sure we get to the end of the location. It's jerking, but I think it's only because the F-16s are all ahead. And airborne. What's airborne in German, guys?
Gestartet.
Started. Does that mean just started?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
I mean, you could say abgehoben, but that sounds weird.
Yeah.
Roger, guys.
It sounds like
Is
you
this the tank range underneath us?
There are tank ranges all over the map.
Oh, tank range! Oh yeah, we're gonna do some tanking at some point, aren't we, guys? Friggin' tank wars.
We are.
Is anyone else flying sideways?
Oh.
Are we having a bit of side wind here?
Does that mean the server's crashed already?
No,
these
it's...
are the crosswind.
No.
We have crosswind.
Did I put a crosswind in?
You did.
Perfect cap
It's
moment.
cap. It's cap.
I didn't mean to, but it appears we have a crosswind, guys. Alright, there we go. Well, I'm looking around so far, and this is literally the first time. I love the colours are good. The detail from this altitude is very nice. It all feels good. To be honest, it looks pretty much like a photograph for me. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Make sure we get the steer point chain.
It feels really realistic of the color palette.
Roger, guys. That's the Baltic, isn't it?
Yeah, you have the North Sea and the Baltics basically. Left side is North Sea, right side of Germany is Baltics. Where like a bunch of crude oil extraction also was.
Roger, guys.
Yeah, well, you may be having some limitations there because I'm in VR and I'm pinned at 72, which is what I've set it to.
Alright, guys. So be it, viewers. It's live recording, I'm afraid. That's what happens. We'll do the best we can.
Village internet cap.
Village internet, yeah, it could be a multiplayer thing. Has any of you ever visited this kind of area, guys? It looks very, I don't know, lakey and kind of cool. I imagine going out.
I have driven past it.
North Germany is generally full of lakes.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'd never been here.
The Netherlands is pretty much the same. It's very lakey, and the thing is, the Netherlands, they are below the sea, so they use all the little channels and rivers to pump out water.
Right, so here we are. It's almost like the cliffs of Dover here. So this is the north. This is what the north coast of Germany looks like, guys.
You have the
Right.
white cliffs here on the end.
Famous for looking like the white cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, basically, and Rügen is basically getting over months and months. Every month it's getting smaller because they're rotting away.
The cliffs?
Yeah, they are all out of charcoal, and yeah, but just they getting eaten away by the sea.
They certainly look very nice. In case I didn't mention earlier, this is based in the 1980s, isn't it, guys?
Yeah.
Correct.
It's lovely. So what's this area? We're coming to Peenemünde, guys. Now, this is famous for developing some of the V-weapons, wasn't it, Fly? Fill us in.
Not
The home
yeah,
of
the
human
V1,
spaceflight.
the
the home of human
V1
spaceflight.
and the V2 were developed here. It's basically the home side of, or the base side of Werner von Braun.
Yeah, so Werner von Braun obviously went off and worked on with NASA and designed Saturn V, so you can argue that this is the home of human spaceflight right here.
How interesting.
And yes, the V2 was the first man-made object in space.
Yeah.
How high? I didn't realise it went that high. How high did it go? Over 100,000 feet then? I guess so.
Yeah,
probably.
so generally the line of space, or when you reach space, is the Kármán line, so 100 kilometers above sea level.
Yeah.
And the V2 was the first that crossed that line.
Roger. And why was it on the coast? Were they shooting it into the sea? Shooting the missiles
Yeah,
into the sea?
When they testing it with a V1, they basically like fired it with rockets towards the sea, into the air, and then the pulled jet started. And then later with a V2, they basically did the same. They aimed them out to sea a bit, so if they come down in the sea.
So this area here where you're flying over right now, Cap, where that airfield is, that's the whole complex is around there.
But in the 80s, not like Peenemünde's big area was in the 30s and 40s, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
On your left-ish, Cap, that whole island chain down here is super popular place for particularly important people in the DDR to go on holidays, particularly folks from Berlin back in the day.
Yeah.
Roger. And that's because you've got no southern coast, have you? So it's this coast or nothing.
That's it.
I mean,
It is now. It is now for sure. But it is a super popular place to go on holidays in the DDR times.
so in like this summer, it's getting pretty hot here.
Roger.
Back then also. So it was pretty good to be on the beach there.
One thing we haven't talked about was the dividing line between West Germany and the GDR, and I think it's shown by this red line here.
Oh, we're fully in the east.
We're fully in
Yeah,
the
we
east
are
now.
fully in the east, and the thing is, some of the lines are actually dividing between different, how can I say, blocks, like the French-British zones and the American zone.
Yeah, so off your nose there, if you keep going straight, you're going to actually pop into Poland.
Yep,
Oh, right. Am I going to... All right, we've got
which German border.
to turn right now, guys. Because we're on the border.
Yeah.
And recht.
Just flown over Graz.
Yep. There is an awful lot of bases, guys. I mean, it was the absolute epicenter of the Cold War. This was where the West met the East, wasn't it? So there's no wonder why there were so many military Cold War bases. A lot of which I suppose are still operational, question mark, or have they all been got rid
No,
of?
like most of them, like 90% of them are got rid. First in the 90s was a big push. We got rid of most of the bases, and the 2000s, and later on more and more bases were closed.
There's a bunch of them around Berlin which you can visit today, and they're essentially just abandoned, overgrown. Some of them still have the concrete, and some of the paths where all the infrastructure is gone.
Roger, guys.
For example, in modern Germany, there are only 6 bases, actually Luftwaffe bases left, opposing to like 60 or 70 in the 80s.
Roger, guys. Right, we're definitely back in. Yes, we went across the border into Poland. We're back in East Germany now to Neubrandenburg.
Cap, I would just like to point out, and the viewers can comment below on this one. The Germans were very quick to tell you when to turn away from Poland.
Yes. Yeah, makes a change,
we don't want to go there.
Makes a change, guys. It's like
Yeah, we're flying planes, so it's not the same.
Yeah, if we're getting too close to Poland too quick, yeah, they getting afraid. That's the problem.
Yes.
They've done a really good job with, all the landscape looks really good. The amount of lakes and forests up here is like it's all very, very well done.
Germany is very much about keeping their green parts green.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, like, especially in modern Germany, there's so many areas. Like, I know that from my construction job, where you just can't build. You just can't change the landscape, basically, because there are, like, laws that forbidden it.
Quite a lot of old buildings that have to be kept at their state and restored to what they were before. You can't just take them down. You have to keep them.
We're deep in the heart of Brandenburg now.
Brandenburg is an area, is it?
It's a state.
It's
so
a state.
It completely surrounds Berlin and goes up to the Polish border.
Roger.
Some Germans.
We have 16 states in Germany, and 3 of them are actually town states, and all of the rest are like proper states.
And some Germans joke about that Brandenburg is just the demilitarized safety zone around Berlin.
Berlin, the only state capital that is making
Net negative.
less. Yeah, it's basically net negative.
Well, more so back in the time when this was set, I think it was essentially a very subsidized city. Certainly the west part was.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
The capital of Germany, West Germany, wasn't Berlin at that time. Of course, it's basically within the enemy's territory.
Yes. And still now they're trying to redeem that, but in dark, when the street lights are lighted, you can see West and East Germany, because East Germany had, well, the more old yellowish street lights, and West Germany had the modern brighter lights, so you can still make it out where East and West Germany was back then.
I think at this juncture in the video, it is good to, useful to point out that when we get towards like Berlin and Hamburg and Würzburg and all that, they do a lot of modeling of the cities. They don't have all the unique structures in, but they do have a fair amount. So getting the map early on, you're not going to be disappointed.
Yeah, we'll see when we go to Berlin, actually. As I said, I spent 2 hours there last night, and the detail is impressive. Very impressive.
Did you check if, like, next to a Brandenburger Tor is the hotel?
Adlion, no, it's not there, and the Soviet embassy is missing as well. There's a couple of small things like that, but there are some really nice little details that you really wouldn't notice. Like, there's a bridge that I go past every day, and they've modelled it in perfect detail, and I don't know why, but yeah, it's nice.
I really like that bridge.
Somebody knows, yeah.
I saw
you can spend a good while just flying the wall that separated the two countries, and like seeing how really it carved up the city. We'll kind of see that as we fly over, but when you get in the map, if you just get in a helicopter, you can spend a good couple hours, and probably just an hour, trying to trace the Berlin Wall.
Yep, easy.
I looked on F10 and I saw, Milo, that the memorial for the Russian soldiers were like close by your.
So that airbase is another one that's been remodeled. The one we just flew over. It's another one that's been abandoned, or it's just a small local airfield now. But it's full-on airbase back in the day.
I didn't realise this area of Germany is so flat, guys. It's not my country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tankland.
Wow.
It's nothing like Norway.
Definitely. Well, once we get down to Frankfurt, Fulda Gap, we get a bit more hills, what made it quite interesting for tank-on-tank engagements, but Otherwise, we're gonna get too bad then.
Also, we don't have it modeled, but when you go south towards Bavaria and stuff, it suddenly gets very hilly and even a bit mountainous.
So
So you
Berlin,
get to the Alps.
there's Berlin off on about your 230. You can probably see the Fernsehturm from here.
Well, when we get out West Germany's got some hills, and they're modeled. I mean, they don't have mountains, but they definitely have hills.
Yeah.
Now, the north is famously flat though in Germany.
So they divided the country in the control zones for like French, British, American, and Russian or Soviet. And they did exactly the same with the capital, Berlin, in the same zones. So what happened is Berlin is far in the east. And so before the country was really divided by a wall, they just could travel through it. So you could travel from West Berlin, like from British controlled or French controlled part of Berlin, through East Germany towards West Germany. Once it was actually divided by the wall, that wouldn't be an option anymore, and you needed actually, there were like 3 corridors that run from West Germany towards West Berlin. So there was still a connection by land that was famously cut off in the Berlin crisis, and then the whole air bridge thing was happening where the NATO or allies actually supplied complete West Berlin with like, I think back then like 2 million people by air.
So the so-called Rosinenbomber,
Yeah.
Raisin bombers.
Supplied everything from
interestingly,
coal to food to everything.
They did the calculations. I think it was they needed 12 C-17s would have done the whole airlift, and they needed 4,000 aircraft back then.
Wow.
It was so timed that like I think every 20 seconds a plane needed to land.
This again is another example of some really great modelling. The centre of Berlin, they've got all these like historical buildings, the Walter Rathaus. You can see the Fernsehturm there. Even
Yeah,
this
the
hotel
Alex-
standing next to it. It's all really well done. It's very easy to navigate. And if we keep going straight here, we're going to go down onto the Linden. Brandenburger Tor is right off the nose, and then the Tiergarten and the Siegessäule in the middle of that.
Guys, we're going to land and then we're going to look at it properly. Land at Tempelhof, get in your helicopter.
Roger, roger.
Power plant.
Simple off the south of here.
Visual. Achtung, Tempelhof. Oh, it's very low.
Yeah, very famous
It is.
for being exactly in the middle of Berlin with that
Surprised
2
they can
runways.
Land big jets on there.
Yeah, and there are quite some accidents in the 40s that happened here because of the short runway, and when it was icy, for example, and stuff, and with back then pretty weak engines, you could say. They had quite
Yeah, a
some
lot of
accidents.
spool up time or spool down time.
Wasn't
So one of the
here-
reasons that they closed it is that they couldn't put large jets in there, and they specifically cited the A380 as not being capable of landing.
Yeah, surprise, guys.
I think it was actually the accident where, like, what was it, the Manchester team died in a plane accident?
That was Munich.
Oh,
Munich.
wait, what was Munich?
I'm about to show you the problem, because I've landed well long.
Yeah.
Achtung.
Yeah, this one is a challenge for corporate drivers.
The crosswind doesn't help.
But I still like it with the very famous
Oh, it's just a tiny crosswind.
terminal. Yeah, with the famous terminal there, it's pretty unique. And nowadays, in the left part of the terminal, is already a museum.
Someone had a nuke.
Tomcat down! Tomcat
And-
down!
In
Can I have
modern
the crosswind?
days, Tempelhof airfield is completely dismantled. Only the terminal is verily, and the whole concrete of and asphalt of the runway and stuff is nowadays
It's all still
Straight
there.
away.
Like, it's all still there. The whole thing is still there.
but they dismantled most of it, right?
Nope, the whole thing is still there today. You just can't land it at this
But
big
it's-
X's on the runway.
But now you have it's basically back to the people. you could say. And it's
I used to live 5 minutes walk from this place, so I know what it looks like.
Welcome back, viewers. We've landed at Tempelhof. We're now going to fly around Berlin, led by Milo, who lives in Berlin. So that's kind of, you couldn't get much better. Milo, when you're ready, take off, please. And let's go and do some sightseeing. What is the plan?
Well, I'm going to take us down to the centre and down under London. Look at all the nice shiny things down there. Then we'll see where we go. So,
well,
we're going to take off.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to take off and head south from here. So this is the old airport, obviously. Most of it's still intact.
It's bloody massive.
One thing to note, if you look at the plane's cap, they say Lufthansa, so of course a hint on Lufthansa.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I have my own airline.
The other thing is, if you look at the airport from high enough above, it looks like an eagle. It was designed like that by the Nazis.
Oh, I didn't know they built it. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And in the eastern part, the airliners, the East German airline was the Interflug, and it's saying on the planes on the map it says into flight, but it's basically just an English translation.
Okay, so we're heading over here towards the Tiergarten is off our nose, that large kind of forested area.
Tiergarten, yes, I think Tiergarten, yeah.
So what I'm over right now is Potsdamer Platz, and we're just going to follow the wall up towards Brandenburger Tor.
Whoa, wow.
When you get a chance, Cap, kind of like slow down and fly kind of low in amongst. They've done a real good job of time period modeling vehicles and signs and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, Brandenburger Tor looks amazing. All the flags, as you can see, the little police car parked outside. And there's ever tourist photos of the wall. They always show this photo.
What is the big building?
The big building to the north, that's the Reichstag. So that was completely destroyed during the war, and it was still a ruin back in the time when this map was modelled.
And nowadays you have a famous glass dome on top of it. What is then the modern Reichstag nowadays, or Bundestag?
Well, it's very well modelled, guys. Is that you dying, Milo?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, catch us up, I suppose. Am I following the wall? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Or anyone else with a blight?
Just head east.
Roger.
So you can head. You see that big spiky thing, the big tall building with the ball?
The needle.
It was that.
You want me to go towards that?
Yeah, let's move to the Alex.
Okay, I'm just going to go and do a little bit of low flying near the wall for the viewers, and then I'll head to that.
The bones call it the Alex, or the Alexander. That's the TV
That's
tower.
my name.
That's the TV tower.
So it's the Fernsehturm is what they call it. You would never get that built today. It was built by these Germans to kind of show off their modernity and power and everything else.
Guys,
and you can see it. You can see it from everywhere. Most of the roads, when you drive into Berlin from almost any road, it somehow manages to align itself with all the roads coming into the city. So it really is the centre of Berlin.
Roger, guys. I'm flying low near what appears to be a checkpoint. Now, here's an interesting thing, guys. So you've got this massive wall that stops east and guys flooding into west and western spies, and everyone knows about the wall. But I found a checkpoint, which is interesting. So they would have checkpoints. The most famous of which was Checkpoint Charlie. Does anyone know which I'm at here, guys?
Or send us a flare.
That's a checkpoint from the East German to the French control zone.
Does anybody know where Checkpoint Charlie is?
No.
Yeah, it's south of Alexanderplatz here where we are. Spinning around.
Fly to it?
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, it's possibly. I didn't look yesterday. I don't know if it's modelled. I mean, I can take a look for it, but it's going to be hard to find. I think we'll just skip it for now.
Alright, I'm just going to have a look down this street just to see Simba's detailed stuff, and then I'm heading to Alex or whatever it was called, the big pointy stick.
Well, I think if you just, as you get closer to the big pointy stick, just fly low in that area.
Noted.
There's a whole lot of, really detailed stuff modeled here and there, and you'll catch all the fine details as you're doing it.
Here's an
There's a lot of
bicycles, old fire engines. It looks beautiful.
The buildings are there's an awful lot of custom buildings as well here. They've done a really amazing job.
There's very little repeated buildings, which is great news.
It really looks like a potpourri of buildings, and if you look from Berlin and above, it's exactly that. It looks so damn good, actually.
I was just saying, interestingly, I've got double the FPS in the Huey, so definitely an F16 problem. Can we have default liveries next time? Should fix the problem.
Yep.
Alright, here's the big pointer. What was it called again, guys?
Fernsehturm, TV tower.
TV tower. When was it built?
60s?
Wow. It really is actually quite tall, guys.
Yeah, and the whole area around it, or the park around it, is the Alexanderplatz.
Oh, yes, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't quite capture the sort of brutalist communist concrete of it, but it's pretty good.
In the train station or what exactly?
Yeah, around the Bahnhof and around. I found a kind of big park made of concrete, Soviet concrete.
That's probably Alexanderplatz.
Yeah, it's got Lenin in it.
You're
Oh
basically,
yeah. This is Alexanderplatz. That's pretty accurately modelled to what it is. It's just a giant concrete square, and if you come back towards the train station a little bit on your left-hand side, you'll see the world clock. That's another famous Berlin symbol. Another piece of custom modelling there, done really nicely.
Come back towards Bahnhof, did you say?
Yeah, towards the train station. So it's about on your 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock on the nose now. See that thing that's sticking up
Yes,
between
I
the
do.
building, the circular thing.
Yeah. Oh yes.
It's a clock.
Well, clock viewers. Wow. Well, I'm really impressed so far. I'm pinned to 60 FPS. I'm surrounded by high fidelity Apaches, and I'm in the middle of the town with loads of unique buildings that look really good. So all in all, pretty impressed.
On your nose,
To the west of all that, is this the judicial district?
on your nose, that dome building is the Berliner Dome. Is the cathedral for Berlin. To the left of that is the East German headquarters, DDR headquarters. That's been demolished years and years ago, but they've put it back in place just for this map.
It's very Soviet, guys.
You enjoy being a passenger armchair?
Yeah, it's nice.
And you're just flying over the Pergamon now, which is the museum. That's also modelled here.
So the Greek Parthenon.
Yeah, that's what it's copied of on.
Right, I see. There's the Reichsstadt. I'm going.
Eggs on your nose, yeah.
Been there, haven't I? So let's go down here. Lots of little rivers that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, Berlin it's not only got the Spree, but it's full of canals as well. It's got more canals than Venice.
Wow.
when we guys meet up next year for Vila, you could join us.
Yes.
Yep.
Tiny little bridge here, modelled pretty well. Look at that.
So that tiny little bridge is the one I was talking about earlier, where someone's really gone to the attention and like modelled every part of it. It's exactly how it looks. I go past this every day.
Wow, look at that. That's awesome. I'm a funny little bridge. Alright, guys.
One more. We can head back up the river to just head towards the dome again, and then take a right from there, left from there.
North and flare. Okay, go.
Leuchtkörper abwerfen.
Yeah,
He's surrounded by
Leuchtfackel.
Apaches.
He is escorted.
Yeah, straight through the Tiergarten, the Brandenburger Tor. They've done this really well here. The whole area is
Yes.
cleared. It's all death strip.
Oh, that's where you send a tour, right, gotcha. I didn't
So
know it
just
was
on-
here. I had no idea it was here.
On my right side, there's another Soviet War memorial. It's actually in the west, but it used to be guarded by Soviet soldiers.
Yes, visual. So hang on, so we're in the west or the east? I'm lost.
We're in the west now. We just crossed into the west.
Right. So that was...
And on our nose is the Siegessäule right in the middle of the Tiergarten.
This is super cool, guys. I'm not even lying. This is super cool.
The Victory Tower in English.
Is it
Yeah,
wrong that
sorry.
all I think about is bombing this?
You're on a war simulator.
Well, the
You are a
map now
Brit, so
enables
hey.
you to do everything you want. You can do whatever you want.
See more
I
big
don't
buildings.
believe that one will have a damage model.
No. It's like the Arc de Triomphe roundabout, guys.
A little bit. if we come off here to the right, Tegel Airport is off this direction. You can go take a look at that if you want. There's off in the distance there you can probably see, I don't know if you can see them, but there's the Funkturm, which is the radio tower, but way off in the distance. If you can see on the horizon, it's about, I don't know, roughly west, there's a hill with a bunch of golf ball type buildings on top of it. The listening station is an NSA listening station.
We're in the affluent west right now. This is where the Eastern Hill
Yeah, we
wanted
are.
to be. Yes, to see the golf balls. So that's an event, is it then, of some sort?
Yeah, the hill itself is actually made up of rubble that they pulled out of the city.
Rubble. How? Oh wow! You mean during the bombing in the 40s?
The whole thing, yeah. In the 50s and 60s, when they were clearing it up, they just trucked everything out, and they couldn't bring it anywhere else, so they just dumped it here.
Wow.
And that entire hill is just bits of Berlin.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, that's a reoccurring theme in Germany. So also Frankfurt has something similar.
So they will head out there and we'll probably wrap it up from there. But this is so somebody came up with the radio one day and discovered that we can hear everything in the east. So the NSA built a listening station out here. It's abandoned now, but they've modelled the full thing here. Where those hot air balloons are, so next to those hot air balloons, I think is the Olympia Stadion.
Oh, better go and look quickly.
Yep.
Let's go and land in that.
Let's go and land in the Olympia. Achtung, Achtung.
Famous for, of course, the Olympic Games of Berlin in the 30s.
Yeah, with very spicy speeches.
Yeah.
And those very spicy people that we don't talk about.
Ich liebe Fußball.
Of course, it's like already modernized after like the times of the Nazis and stuff, but yeah.
What's all those tents near it?
Oh, I don't know.
Good
The whole area over there where all the balloons are is just practice pitches now.
Oh, there's a perfect landing, guys. Perfect landing. Prima. Right, come on, stick him down. Scandi flick or nothing. Scandi flick or die.
That'll pop out.
Schwimmbad. Who's the
Oh,
friggin'
you-
nerd in the white that landed perfectly? You suck.
Anyone notice the DCS market just got rented?
This is
Whoa!
market.
Someone just crashed right in front of me and nearly took me out.
I was gonna say those were places where there's malls or like reals would have been, or they have billboards for the Normandy 2 map.
Yeah.
That wasn't a crash. That was a landing for me.
What I found back in my hometown, discovering it, there were a lot of gas stations, and they had billboards for DCS. Oh, somebody took down the whole stadium.
Someone took down the stadium.
The stadium's
More
gone.
place to land.
The stadium. Achtung, Achtung. We can only apologise, Berlin.
Nah,
Yeah,
you don't
actually,
have to.
Cap, if you have
It's
a
more
look on
beautiful
the
now.
hot air balloons, yeah, they actually have a fire in there.
Yeah. Oh, that's where they're coming from. Yeah, that's nice. Right, I'm going to do one more quickly global overlook. Oh, wow, look at that. That is Berlin from 40,000 feet, 50,000 feet, viewers. That is modelled like an absolute beast. Well, impressed so far, guys. Impressed so far. Right, we're going to skip over to west, very much the far west, and start from there. Alright, welcome in, viewers. It turns out I put us a little bit close to each other, and so half of us have been on fire, but I believe we've sorted it out. Ooh.
Nope. People keep spawning in.
No, that's a thing, I'm afraid. We're starting to hear Braunschweig. We're going to go over here and look Wolfsburg and look at the VW garage.
Actually, Cap, if you look into the hangars, they all are so detailed, even within the hangars.
Roger, guys.
Yeah, they've done a really good job with this map.
Yeah.
Stuck to detail.
Right.
Yeah, those hangars look great.
And out of
Like
it,
on Caucasus maps and stuff, you need to, like, as mission builder, you need to add things so it's detailed enough.
Yeah. So that
Here
the
you
airfield
don't need.
looks nice.
Yeah, here you really don't need. Stuck some static airplanes on here and it's all fine.
So, Cap, how's your performance on the ground? Is it worth having the details preset, or would you say for...
I'm on basic high, so I'm high and then unmodified, if you know what I mean. You can select at the bottom high, and that's what I've done.
I think we best just start going up. There's just so many of us.
Pile up, guys. I'll see you at the factory.
There's some nice built radar stations on the right side of the runway.
Okay, I'm on the way to factory.
Go, go, go.
that should be a Volkswagen factory. It's huge. Not as huge as in modern in nowadays times, but it was already huge.
So when you come into Wolfsburg, the 4 smokestacks from the factory are not easy to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, make some serious people's cars.
The people's
Well, at least
car.
you can.
They
Yes,
built the people's car here.
So VW is Volkswagen, and translated that would be especially the people's wagon. So the vehicle for the public, for the folk.
Very nice, guys. Right. Lovely job. All right, guys. Let's get a steer point chain. Let's get 650 knots. Let's go, 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 go.
So next is Hannover.
Roger. I'm glad I got my performance back. I can actually show the map off now. Look, viewers, that's what it looks like.
And Hannover is actually really big. Same as, not as many people living there, but in terms of the size of the city, it's pretty much the same.
Oh, okay. Hey, Jigsaw.
Hey,
Grab it.
another German. We needed noch ein Deutscher, didn't we, guys? How many have we got
Actually,
now?
I think-
6?
I think when we get later in the map, we're going to be not far from where little mini Jigsaw grew up.
Interestingly, I'm just at the moment I'm going to the town where I basically went to school and checking it out. But where's the dial data?
Where are you from, Jigsaw?
Yeah, I grew up in the middle of Germany, where the racetrack Oschersleben is located. So in between Magdeburg and the Mountain Hearts.
Yeah, so we're going to be around Halle, that area later on, I think.
Roger, guys. Yeah, yeah.
Not too.
Yeah, right, we're at Hanover. I'm going to go over for a quick look. Ich bin hungover.
Hangover.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like that.
Cap Hannover.
Oh, there's another soccer stadium down there to land in.
And a big Kirche.
Dude, we have like every major city has a football team here.
Natürlich.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
With, of course,
Wolfsburg has one, Hanover has one.
with of course the best one is of course the Dortmund soccer team. What is it? Not modeled yet.
You
Cap,
will get some flames in the comments.
future video at one of these soccer stadiums, will the overhang protect a helicopter from taking damage?
That's what I sound.
Mm,
You
I
can
said it.
you can completely hide a helicopter under the overhang on the soccer field. I already know that.
Can it protect it from AMRAAMs?
Possible.
Oh, you tried that in your time being stationed here?
Of course. Of course I did.
Why not?
Okay, Cap. What's
Personal
Hannover?
experience.
Well, you gotta find out for the people.
It's a lovely flyby, guys.
DCS Snipes. That's what we're here for.
I've looked at the residential, the commercial, I've looked at the industrial, I've gone over the big church in the middle, I've gone over the streams, and it's typically really, really nice. Lovely map this is so far.
Yeah, if you do a little turn towards the north, you can fly over Wunstorf.
I had a ride with Hercules back in the days at Wunstorf. As a school kid.
As you do.
Yeah, we didn't have any of that.
I didn't have that in school.
Yeah, I went for it like it wasn't an application, it was just an info day from the Bundeswehr, you know.
Ah, okay.
Nice.
It's something similar, but in a Transall C160.
They're trying to get recruits everywhere now.
Yeah.
Wonder when they're gonna start in the kindergarten.
Did Gamescom, what is basically the biggest gaming
Computer
convention,
games.
yeah,
Yes.
in Cologne, they are a big like they have a big part in there and
Yes.
try to catch gamers basically.
I mean, modern systems do look like games sometimes. You have game controllers steering drones and all those touch displays and stuff.
Right,
We're
guys.
on the way to Bremen.
Yes, we are.
Bremen
Distance to it is.
Also, Cap is one of the town states, so Bremen is its own state.
Huh. Interesting. Why would that be?
It's just historical reasons. So Bremen, many of the cities in old times were their own like control zones. how you say it, like in
So a lot of I mean
medieval
before unification there was like, I don't know, 150 different states of various kinds, and they all kind of evolved. So the 16 Länder kind of evolved out of that. So you kind of have this weird situation where you have somewhere huge like Brandenburg, but then you've got, you know, individual cities like Bremen or Hanover or Berlin that are their own thing as well. It's just
Hanover is not its own controlling zone. It's not its own
Hamburg.
state.
Hamburg, sorry.
I
Hamburg,
imagine
Bremen, and
because
Berlin.
Germany was so divided up as far as like control zones, that probably prevented a lot of like states from being able to be formed.
No, it's far older. It's far older. So in medieval times, were like all the old control zones and
kingdoms
like
and
kingdoms.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly, kingdoms. And later they stuck together, but some of the like major ones, like Bremen, kept alone. And so even in nowadays, they are their own state. For example, where I'm living, the state is Nordrhein-Westfalen. Before the or after the war, they actually put Westfalen and Nordrhein together and built Nordrhein-Westfalen. That's something the Brits actually did.
Yeah, so having states on their own is something like taxation reasons, ease of trade, them being able to decide on their own without having a whole other country, a state in their back.
Making everything a bit simpler.
Yeah, it's something to do with the Hanseatic League, right? If anyone wants to Google it.
Because Hamburg is called Hansestadt, Hanseatic City, Hamburg.
And we'll be flying over the capital of the Hanse, Lübeck.
Oh wow, there's some big buildings down here.
Yeah, that's Bremen now, and it's very famous for like literature and art stuff.
And it's the state.
What did they do here in the Cold War?
In the Cold War, I don't actually know if anything.
Probably too
really
far off the
new.
front line, I would have thought, guys.
Yeah, I probably spent most of the time rebuilding from being bombed over and over and over again.
It did get hit a lot, didn't it? I wonder why it got hit so much.
Actually, the old
Big port
town
city,
part.
lots of factories.
Yeah, the old town part of Bremen wasn't that much destroyed. You have still old buildings there, like very old buildings there. But the whole industrial part, the harbor and stuff, was completely wiped out.
Now, is this the river that leads to Wilhelmshaven? I believe it is.
Yes.
Which we don't have yet. It's up, there. So that would have been your main naval port.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we'll get at some point. All right, well, that's Bremen, guys. Surprise, surprise, it looks very nice. I've not got much to say, so that much to criticise, to be honest.
The things you see, for example, and they are actually more like a bunch of cruise ships that are built here, and like freighter ships that are built here in Bremen.
One thing to note on this map when it comes, they have modeled like some of their ships and their boats that'll travel up and down rivers will actually be moving on the map. So
moving targets for bombs.
Roger, Simba. Yes, that's very good.
Some of these train stations that are modeled, even just out in the country, are really nice looking.
Yeah, I saw that.
So if you look even right now on the map cap on F10, you see all the little rivers and stuff that going through Hamburg.
Yeah.
And it's very famous because it was very important for trade. And after the unification of Germany in the 90s, a bunch of money from the West went into the East to build actually stuff up and build more proper roads and stuff. So that main part of Hamburg is really, like the old part of Hamburg is really put on that little island in the middle of the river.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so famous for trade. Many of like naval culture is like of Germany is more or less strung to Hamburg.
Yeah, it's pretty historically important place, this. So this is effectively like an inland deep water port, right? More or less.
Yeah.
Impressive, guys. That is such a big industrial.
I don't know how often they actually like re-deepen the river
dredge
to get bigger ships through.
Yeah, so
Looks
the
good
bigger
from 40,000 feet too.
So you actually get placeable towering cranes for the container ships. So you get some stuff you can actually manage here.
Oh, they have a needle. They have a needle.
Yeah, I found a needle. Ich bin ein Needle. Nice church now, I'm going to go and have a look at it.
Yep.
Oh, many churches. Turning back in.
And if you look south of the needle is the football stadium of the Hamburg Football Club. It's one of
a park in the shape of a unit.
One of the more famous soccer teams here.
On a dry dock.
Yeah, it's not a unique football pitch. They use that one all over the map.
I'm just saying they have it in the right place.
Yeah, I think even the one for the Olympia Stadium is not quite the Olympia Stadium. It's more of a placeholder, I'd say. But I'd imagine that stuff is just going to come as the map builds out.
Yep.
Needle! Love myself a good needle, guys. Right, that's it. Last leg. Lubeck. Crash your face into Mems's house. Das ist ein Ordnung.
Oh, and one of the 7 towers. It has 7 church towers, 5 churches. That's what it's famous for, and it has the Holzentor, which is a very beautiful model, which is like the most known thing about it. Yes.
It's also in like culinary things famous for like.
Marzipan. In the Second World War, it was actually the first city to get firebombed by the British, so the entire inner city is built after the war again.
I wonder why.
I think about it.
Seems like a strange target.
Maybe they don't
a lot
like
of
bread.
old buildings with a lot of wood. And in range, of course.
But I'm also a bit sweet tooth, you know.
Yeah, and he was a chef, aren't he?
As well as a comprehensive road network, they seem to have modelled all of the rail networks as well, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and the inner city is entirely on an island, like right at U12.
Yep.
The 5 churches.
Many of the bigger German cities were built in or on the rivers, so
Riversides also.
Yeah. Because like rivers made trading easier because you had like an easy transportation way.
Yes, and easy access to water stuff.
Hey Memsy, where's your house? I need to know where your house is.
For
I have a thing to do.
we just need to have a talk.
Yeah.
You're not your extended car insurance.
Right,
Just to reach him.
in a city cap and the churches.
I love the inner city. It's freaking awesome. Look at that. Market. Hey, my head. I see my own head. Going back round.
Good call, Fire Dad. I know you guys joined late. Next airplane change, do not change your livery. It's messing with Cap's FPS right now.
Roger.
I love that old town, guys. Look at that.
Yeah, Cap, a bit to your right, there should be the Holzentor, which you can fly out.
Sehr schön.
Yeah, so that's really nicely done. Wow.
You really see the old buildings. Mems, are they sandstone or why are they reddish color in the old city?
Bricks, I think.
Oh, bricks.
Sure, actually.
Oh, I see the whole store. Wow.
Das sind alles hier Klinker, alles geklinkert.
Okay, so clay bricks.
Yeah.
Copy. Well, once we get down to Frankfurt, in the old times they used a lot of sandstone back there.
Cap, I would fly over the border once now. The border crossing is very near, it's like, I think, 15 kilometers from the inner city.
Roger, guys. Right, I'm having a quick look from space.
Not a nice hangar to park in.
Guys. Oh, look at that, viewers. Look at that. It looks like an old surveillance map. That is awesome. Right, I'm going to do the only thing I know how to, which is destroy it all. Stand by. Ich komme jetzt. End however you want to end this section, guys. I have Achtung, ein target.
Ems is the zigzag here, the border.
Yeah.
Yes. If you fly north a bit, there's the most northern point in Schuto.
Looks like a sawtooth.
That's not very accurate.
Oh, you guys are carried on. I didn't realise. My bad.
Look at
And I
Mem's
can
plane
tell
maybe,
us.
and he can show you.
I may have damaged a part of your fancy building. Where are you, Mems? Ich bin Mems. Wo ist Mems? Oh, you're landing.
And
Did you catch the thing that Mems was flying over?
No. Where are you, Mems? Just give flight 20
The
seconds.
east.
If I screw this up.
yeah, because
all
now
fine.
I'm on camera, you know.
Apple. Hold up for that. Well done. Mems, what did you want? I didn't really understand what you're saying.
I fly right now over a border crossing. It's the most northern one in Germany. You can see it's like right by the border.
Yeah. How could that be a border crossing? Stand by. Oh, God. So where is that? That's dead. No. Oh, the crossing between the two Germanys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's a youth center though.
I had no idea it was.
If you want, I can like send you a picture. I can do it in the video how it looks today. It's
Yes,
very
do it. So this isn't the Berlin Wall. This is the the border between
German.
East and West Germany.
German wall.
It's the first time I've seen this today. Look at it. Hang on, sorry, I was going to get the camera in position. It literally is a giant friggin' border. Warum? So look at that view as it goes all the way, and I can see it going tens of miles back towards Frankfurt. They
Cap.
must have had thousands of soldiers manning there.
Yes,
no
they have.
one. Cap, no one had the intention to build a wall, yeah?
Yes.
Gosh.
Ein Raumbegrenzer.
Build a wall. Oh, I can
It's
see
a
it.
famous speech from the back then president of the DDR, who said in German, niemand hat die Absicht, eine Mauer zu bauen, but it's straight translated, no one has the intention of building a wall.
Then all of his scientists started trying to escape, and
Like
engineers.
a week later, they built a wall.
Very good, guys. Right. We're going to save time. We are going to. In fact, let me have a quick look at the space, and then we are going to go to phase 3, which is a Tiddler. Oh, surprise! The F-14 is dead again.
Hey.
Gans. You.
It's guns.
Yeah.
Hey, I just like the space here. I like the forests.
Hey, what was it next? Guns house or what?
It will be. Hang on. In the spirit of German, my baby's learning to speak, obviously, and he speaks naturally in German, but in English words. So he says, for instance, "No, I not is," which is how you'd say it in German, but with English words. Very funny. Right. Massive hangers.
Oder my name.
Massive hangers. All right, guys. Phase 3.
It didn't look like there were many F-16s, and this will allow me to be very judgmental of you.
Good.
Oh
good.
yes, you can. You will
was
have
waiting for
plenty
that
of
one.
reason for that.
Also, he can be a good navigator for you.
There you go.
Oh,
Guys, we're starting. Look at that nerd. We're starting at Leipzig, and I know nothing about Leipzig. Someone give me something about it.
Famous East German city.
Apparently, it has absolutely no features at all, according to
Yeah.
the boys.
So if you're in the back, make sure
People
you
get
units
angry
set
about
up.
me that way, but hey, people always get angry about me, so. Oops.
Oh, what another. Fly and boys at these what another. Fly and boys at these towns. If these are English towns, the humans in the towns would have very different accents, the way they speak. Is that the same in Deutschland?
Yeah, we're having like all the accents. Like,
'Cause you all sound the same
Town
here.
dependent, it's more like area dependent.
yeah.
Like here
So-
in Lübeck, we speak more of a like Hamburg.
Yeah, like a Hamburg accent. We speak a more direct, harsh accent in the Ruhrgebiet. We also
Take off, guys. Take off.
there's also
Go south, straight south of the airport, and a lot of the stuff will be south to just slightly southwest
Aye, aye.
of the airport.
there's also the perception that, like, for
So
example,
what do you expect
from
so
here are more
the
direct.
airport? Did you
Yeah,
cover
you just go
the
180
Arctic region?
south. You'll start to see unique features.
Aye, aye.
Simon, did we cover the Harz area already?
Did I cover the which area?
Yeah.
It's a mountain area.
Yeah. Cap is on your nose at the moment. It's the Harz, which is very famous for a very strange situation, as nobody was allowed to go on top of the mountain because of the surveillance radar and the station over there. But it's some distance to cover, so we can probably go south first.
I do actually see it.
There's the mine, the pit mine. The pit mine is ahead of us with the giant earth thingy diggers.
Oh, with the big excavators.
Guide me.
It's right in front of us. You can't miss it. It's south.
Cap, you are not the same spawn.
Hang on. I need to. Because Cannonball. Cannonball is.
Large tan patches, Cap. You can't miss
Something ain't
them.
right. I'm
You're in
not on the map.
Braunschweig.
You are spawn number 2, Cap.
I accidentally went to Braunschweig. Well, that would explain when. Bollocks.
Cap things.
Cap did a thing, yes.
Oh.
It's Jigsaw, I was following.
Get off the camera. I'm gonna try to do something stupid.
I'm all about it. Let's do stupid things.
Right. Are we aligned now? Is our INS aligned? Are we all in the same place now?
Yes, we are.
We are.
Okay.
Yes, take off, turn right.
Guys, I just
So
noticed
simple,
that
take a look. Oh, it's blacked out.
I just noticed that my head tracker actually broke.
Yeah, I seen it.
Like the lower leg of my head tracker just fall off.
Oh.
Sounds like a you problem, Fly.
Right. So the orders were to take off and turn south. I can actually do that this time.
Yep.
I will be right back. I'm just gonna use the restroom.
I got under those machines.
Here's the Völkerschlachtdenkmal.
Just helping mark it.
One of the most famous monuments of Leipzig is just in front of us, Gab. It's this huge... I don't know, it's just called the monument. Just the Völkerschlachtdenkmal from Napoleon, so back in 17.
You like ships?
He was going east to Russia.
Yeah, to the Rhine.
Don't forget Napoleon tried to conquer whole Europe.
Yes.
Yeah, how's
So
that
where are
work
the
out?
excavators? There are the excavators. Nice.
I heard he took his bike off of some really sweet jumps.
Hey Cap, look on your 2 o'clock. You see the pit mines.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's massive. Turning. Whoa, sorry,
so
guy.
what they are digging out of the ground is Braunkohle, so coal.
Yeah, so it's...
Fun fact. One of these excavators basically passed the town where I grew up, just a kilometer away, and they had to prepare the roads with a lot of sand so it's not going to be damaged by the excavator. So they could move long distances, but very slowly, like 1 or 2 miles an hour.
What we need to say, and that's a thing you not see on this map, but this pit mines from like the 70s when they started really, with the rotary excavators, to nowadays, they eaten away the land basically, on one side, eaten through whole villages and stuff. They need to relocate villagers and stuff, and on the other side, basically, where they filled up the earth with the, they just put new villages for the people they need to relocate.
Wow. How
Yeah, we
German.
just ate away at the location.
We produce so much of coal and steel and basically got the industry back running. It's basically
Sheer force.
yeah, it
Right, straighten out,
basically
Cap, straighten out.
basically the 50s, 60s, 70s were like the golden time of industry in Germany.
Coal industry. Yeah.
Okay, yep. You got unique structures to your left now. You can probably see them out your
already been
window
by
to your
there.
left.
Yep. It's Napoleon Duda, yeah. Into the industrial sector. Pretty sweet, guys. Alright, we're going to quickly hop over to Alterstadt, or whatever it was called, guys. And then we'll go on our last leg. So it was 270 or thereabouts. Very nice. I like that town. For a town that no one liked, I liked it. Had some big bits in it. And I loved it.
But we don't like it. It's more like there's not really that big of history.
They don't know the
in
history
Napoleon.
of it.
Yeah.
That's what we'll go with.
Awkward.
Yeah.
It's one of the dirtiest cities, so nobody wanted to live there.
I like that the fact it's been eaten as well. It's eating itself for pure greed. It's very
Yeah, it's exactly that.
non-German,
Like
actually.
In
there's
Ruhrgebiet, you have more like black coal mines under the earth, but in the east you had a bunch of, and also like in my part, but in the east you had a bunch of that brown coal mines that are like on the floor instead of under the floor. And yeah, they eaten away the land, basically repopulate villages, eaten away historic villages, basically, just to build new villages where they used to be.
And they're still doing it. They're still digging.
Yeah, even in nowadays, there's still a very big pit mine in close where I'm living, actually, like an hour away by car.
Yeah.
And there's still big protests. But every time they are next to a village, they are about to eat away, because they found coal under it. They're saying we need to have that coal.
Yeah, so there's not much in case of protection of villages, forests or stuff. It's just corporate greed. We need that coal, you need that coal, everybody needs that coal, let's dig it up.
This is a proper Soviet block town. Look at this one.
Yep.
Supermarket. Yeah. Okay. Right, guys, I'm just going to deposit something in their town. Stand by. Yeah, very Soviet town, that one.
Plane refused with the...
Can I make a deposit? Ha 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 ha. Oh, it's a lovely view, that is.
Actually, it might be going in for a nosedive. Pulled up into a loop.
Welcome back. We're now in the south. So, last leg, we're going to start. So, we've been operating around here. Now we're operating all the way down here. We're starting at Frankfurt here, Wiesbaden, and Ramstein over here. Absolutely enormous. Look at how many terminals there are.
Yeah, Frankfurt is Eddie's was already, but nowadays it's one of the, or if not the biggest airport in Germany, and a major crossing in Europe for logistics and passengers and everything.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Frankfurt International.
Yep.
Crazy.
Frankfurt is where I spent my early 80s around it. If you look just north on the F10 map, there's a radar station, and the city I lived in was just at the base of that, Oberrussel, Germany.
Oh. So, you were here as well. Is there any
my
of you...
My dad was a helicopter pilot at an army airfield just north of here. It's not
any
modeled.
of you that haven't lived on this map at some point? Even I have.
I haven't.
Right, well, there you go.
Me neither.
You're the old Paul.
Dirty comes to Berlin. Dirty comes to Berlin.
I have not, but I was there over the summer, so.
There you go.
I spent about 2 hours in Germany on the way home from Iraq. That was it.
Start taking off now. Germans were in your hands.
All of
Not
them.
yet a major crash.
Only on landings. Like the helicopter landings, the Tomcat landings.
Those don't count.
Okay, glad to hear that.
Someone doing a flip roll taking off.
Somebody's on fire.
Who's the bell end? Fly. Yes, you are the bell end.
Fly did a thing.
Already did.
I have a torch now.
Did you do a roll without enough airspeed?
Yeah, I tried the 104 thing.
And you had the 104 result.
You took the Fantastic Four to literal and said Flamme an. So if you want to visit my town, we fly a bit east, but otherwise we can follow steer point 1.
I think we're going to go steer point 1, purely to expedite, guys. But you tell me about your town, Gans. What's it all about?
Well, I live next to Langseebold and Gelnhausen, and they both have an airport modeled in here. It's actually just a glider airport, so just a grass strip.
Yeah.
But they have some bigger infrastructure than they have now, like actual tarmac with beton and some shelters, but only gliders stationed there. And yeah, Gelnhausen was in the Cold War was a tank brigade stationed there, and further to the northeast there's Fulda with checkpoint Alpha that is quite known. And once there were backup plans that if ever the east entered to the west through Fulda, Gelnhausen would be called to arms they would have to roll out with their tanks, defend the Fulda Gap, and Apaches from no, not Apaches, helicopters from was it Ernsee, that is not modeled yet, would take off, go to Frankfurt, collect everybody, put everybody that is of importance into planes in Frankfurt to evac them out, so that everybody gets out of the danger zone.
Roger. Can you keep an eye on my jet just for a minute? I'm just showing the camera around Frankfurt because we missed it.
I got you, Cap.
Let me go. Let me know when I go over that. Frankfurt's effing massive.
So now we have air racing areas. We need an extra 300 to air race that air racing strips.
A bit of history. Why is air racing so big in Germany, guys?
So we have a big history with gliders, and in like the 80s, yeah, it got bigger here. But it's not a major thing. Let's put it like that. It's not a major thing. We just have
not anymore.
We just have happened to have many places where air racing happens. And what I mentioned, the extra 300, is just a manufacturer in Germany that is very world renowned to make.
Yep, get in your cockpit, turn left.
Making with the best aerobatics planes.
Yep, they have start lines, finish lines, but yeah, there's several of these tracks all over the map.
Right, and I'll run a quick leg, and then we'll carry on.
We have a new place to try out. What is the fastest jet about? Around corners, around tracks?
We do, don't we?
Oh yeah, we can do proper air racing.
Probably not suitable for F-16s, right? 500.
Depends on your airspeed.
He had to say.
Can try out.
Also, Cap, I would like to point your attention out to they have started to model the hills, because we are now getting into the western hilly side of Germany.
They've addressed my main complaint, guys.
It's no longer just flatlands here.
This is fun. These are good. These are.
Yeah.
Oncoming traffic.
It's air racing. It's not yet Red Bull air racing. Yeah, Red Bull is not even founded at that time.
Nothing happened.
Oh cap! Oh cap!
Fuck! I almost lost control. FCS, best FCS in this plane. Thank you for
I'm
saving
heading
me.
to waypoint 2.
Okay, we're turning way step points, guys.
You want to say, Cap, the Yak 52 is a better plane?
Actually, for this, yes. Yes, it definitely is. Right, let's go, guys.
Oh! There was a 16 cutting right past my 40.
It does happen, doesn't it? Right, let's go and find out what step point 2 is. Step outboard on. Right. Well, amazingly, I haven't died yet, and I've tried many times to die. Right, so we're heading to Zweibrücken. Does anyone know what's there? Is it just a generic town?
So first we go to Ramstein and then to Zweibrücken. Because Ramstein is on the way.
Yes, and Ramstein is still an active airbase.
So, one thing that we've got down here is lots of US Air Force bases, haven't we? Ramstein, Bitburg, and Spangdahlem. Why?
Well, so you guys need, or the American guys need a staging area for basically anything, and yeah, Germany is basically, because of logistics and other certain factors, a really good place to have bases. And then they happen to have like basically they are under the biggest foreign air bases America has.
Yeah.
So it's quite central in Europe. It grants easy access to the east. So Cold War was quite interesting for that. And just like I said, it was a buffer zone. And back here, past Frankfurt, are the big air bases with where all the heavy ordnances would be stored. And there were some old planes, I think, that would bomb the ever-living stuff out of the Main-Kinzig-Kreis, so the area where I live, just to stop any tanks advancing. So you need some planes to throw that stuff. So here we are at Ramstein.
Big.
One thing that is both historically significant and even modern day, when you'll start to hear news, Launchstuhl is a major medical hub for the U.S. military. We have a major medical facility there. So a lot of people that might get injured in the Middle East they will go to Landstuhl for a lot of that very important surgeries before they get transported back to the States.
Landstuhl is the biggest military hospital America has in a foreign country.
Where is it, roughly? I don't want to go there, but where is it?
It's like right next to Ramstein.
Oh, right.
It's like...
There are stories, for example, where like very major injured soldiers with like knives in their heads and stuff were flown out of the Middle East, very low level, to not put pressure on the wound, directly to Ramstein to get them to Landstuhl for surgery and stuff. And many of them survived.
And there are actually 3, I think it's still 3, or there's 4 air bases that are all right next to each other. Like, you drive out of Ramstein, you go across the Autobahn, and there's another air base. Even though it doesn't have a runway or an airfield, it's still...
And you see all the bunkers and stuff kept to host all the ammunition.
You're going to need a lot of JDAMs.
Yeah.
Look at that. That would have been... I don't know what it would have been full of.
I'm not sure if that would be JDAMs at the times, but...
Modern day, there's now one of the NATO headquarters is on this base, but it's not modeled on here.
Yeah, because it's not modern day.
Yeah, it's massive, guys. Absolutely enormous. Americans do things by friggin'
metric tons.
Well done. Nice. Yeah. All right. Very good, guys. That is Ramstein. We're going to quickly head down to Zweibrücken. Anyone know any significance of Zweibrücken? I just chose it because it was close.
I picked up car parts from there.
You picked up car parts from Zweibrücken. Well, there you go. It does have relevance, guys.
Yeah, it's eBay.
Oh, it's not as big as I assumed it was a giant town, but it's not. It's just a tiny little tickler, guys. All right. I think we'll skip that. Right. We're off to Spangdahlem.
What you may placed it with is Saarbrücken, what is actually a bigger major city.
Roger.
That's more in the north, but not model. It's a bit more north than Spangdahlem. Yet.
All right, en route, guys. How much fuel have I got? Plenty. Afterburn for a bit.
No, as you start getting close, you're going to see the... Is it the Rhine River? That runs up and down?
Where's the Rhine? Where's the Rhine?
Yeah, that
must be the Rhine there then. So Simba, you were at Spangdahlem I can't even say it. Spangdahlem for 4 years. What was that? F-16s?
Yep, 4 years.
What was it with?
Yep, F-16s.
And what dates? What years were those roughly?
I was there from 13 to 17.
I haven't been up properly high yet. I'm just going to go up to 50,000.
It's very nice for you, Cap.
So when you look like from up high, Cap, onto the map, it's...
look at Ramstein, Cap.
I mean, we said it already, but it's really... When you fly in a plane above Germany, you see like all the little fields and forest areas and stuff. And if you now look from like 30,000 feet down onto Germany map, it looks exactly how you expect.
Very impressive. Yeah, I see Ramstein.
A lot of fields, small details, stuff. Everywhere is some village. You can't really go so long distances without finding a village.
Yeah, there's a thing in Germany. You can't, like, if you're with a car and you follow like normal, not even an Autobahn, I mean like a normal overland road, yeah, you can't drive 15 minutes out of a village or a town and not crossing another village or town.
Yeah, so we're quite densely packed.
We are 88 million nowadays, and at the same time we are smaller size than like Texas.
What you guys?
Meanwhile having 4 or 5 times the people.
So one thing that is kind of unique in my experience in Germany that I believe they are trying to get modeled for this map is actually the way the fog rolls in and out here. So I lived in even though I was stationed at Spangdahlem, there's not really much military housing on the base because Spangdahlem was actually more of a detachment base even back in the Cold War. And so a lot of the military members lived off base, like in amongst the German population. And I lived in a town called Wittlich. And Wittlich is actually substantially lower in altitude than Spangdahlem was. So when I would wake up in the morning, I would have like really thick fog, like almost dangerous to drive in. In fact, some people would just like not report to work for a couple hours until the fog lifted. But you'd come out of your town, like going up and down these hills, and it would be you just like come out of the fog layer, and you would just see like fog clouds just as white as they are up in the atmosphere, but just hugging the terrain.
I wonder why. I wonder what was specific about it that made that.
It's just a thermal thing. The valleys in between staying a bit colder, so the air is condensating in the valleys basically.
Quite a lot of forests emitting humidity into the air, catching it.
It's a thing here. We adjust.
Alright guys, we're going to end at Beetberg, so head south, I think it is, to Beetberg. What do we know about that?
Bitburger beer. Platinum and Bitburg. They sponsor like everything for the U.S. military at Spangdahlem.
Yeah.
So also...
Bitte, wer ist saying, bitte ein Bit.
Yeah,
so
that's
please
slogan.
a bit.
And IT students also like to make jokes about it because it's also data.
Right guys, land at
Easy
Beetberg. Land at Beetberg, please. It drops off on one end, which is interesting.
So, a couple things about this area. Well, first thing, my first soapbox is Spangdahlem is not as flat as they have it modeled on this base. There's no flat spots on Spangdahlem. I'm going to keep mentioning that until they model hills into it. So yes, Cold War Bitburg was the F-15 base. It was the main base. How I talked about Spangdahlem was kind of like a detachment base. It really only had your office infrastructure. It didn't really have much housing. So a lot of the people actually lived on Bitburg. The high school, the kids would go to school on Bitburg. There's a famous road that runs between Bitburg and Spangdahlem, and it's the B-50, and all U.S. military members are not allowed to pass on the B-50 because of it's a very windy, hilly road, and it's where farmers drive their tractors.
Yep.
A lot of accidents happen there.
Even I know that story.
Insider knowledge, guys.
There's a tank range just to the south of it.
Yeah, because like so many foreign military personnel was here. They had like everywhere was a tank range, training range, bomb range, yeah, you name it.
Alright guys, that'll pretty much do it for me. I've been recording all morning as well, so I'm absolutely exhausted, which is why I wasn't talking at the end, but I can't find anything bad to say about it. It works really well, it looks really good, it's got loads of individual buildings, and I'm sure they will have more and more individual buildings. The bases are awesome, there's massive bases, there's small bases, there's bases everywhere, loads of different cities, loads of stuff to bomb, which is important for me. Any wrap-up thoughts from you guys?
I love how detailed it is, especially in like smaller cities.
And I'm really looking forward to have like the other phases with like the Ruhrgebiet and stuff editing, and yeah.
I really did put a 70 nautical crosswind. No wonder I crashed on landing.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did
almost
that.
tipped over.
Well, last thing, Cap, before we all close any of this out, that's important to mention. If the people hit the notification bell down below, they will get notified when they do model Fly's part of the map, and we go and bomb it.
Oh, Fly's house. Beautiful, guys. Well done. All right, guys.
Also, if you want to, join us on Patreon, and you can join us on the donators missions, what we have tonight one.
Well, we do. I hope you enjoyed that, viewers, and bye-bye.